Hey, boys and girls, we are moving on to a new unit. We're looking at energy. We got to remember that energy is everywhere. Energy is in everything we do. All right, so we need energy to sleep. Believe it or not, we need energy to eat. And then while we're sleeping and that food we eat, we store it so that when we're running, when we're talking, or just moving and walking, that energy then becomes kinetic energy. It's energy of movement. All right, so we store energy in order to be able to move. So think about it this way: stored energy has the potential, hence the word potential energy, to do stuff. All right, so we're going to start with the different types of energy. So, looking at the handouts that we're doing today, you've got two. All right, you've got kinetic energy, and there's five types: mechanical, electrical, thermal or heat energy, radiant or light energy, or sound energy. Sound, I think, is the easiest one. All right, so what you're going to do, you are going to take that sheet of paper and cut right up along the dotted lines. And you might have to trim a little bit on the little edge here so that it fits in our journals properly. If you have a spiral, you're okay just to go ahead and cut up along the title, but don't cut the word forms of kinetic energy off. But we're going to go ahead and trim it. You see I got my scissors here. So as you trim it this way, you'll see that it's a little bit smaller. Notice the page numbers. You are going to need a textbook for this. All right, the page numbers are going to tell you where you can find the definitions. So we're going to go ahead and glue this into our journal. All right, this is the page we're using currently right now. All right, so we're looking at page 54. All right, so when you go through and you look, just make sure you pay attention because we may use this video later. So when you look, guys, this is going to go on the page on the right-hand side. So we're going to put the glue as we fold right up on that line. Put the glue right behind the little binding that says forms of kinetic energy. You can see that the rest of the page is loose. You can see here I have it folded. I went ahead and put some lines there so I can separate where it is that I'm going to write. As I said, you've got page numbers on the front. So you're going to go, for example, in our textbook to page 192. Read the little paragraph that it gives us on mechanical energy. And then right behind it, in this section here, you are going to write a description or definition of what it tells us. And then right up on the side, sketch a picture of an example of an item or object that uses or exhibits mechanical energy. Now, on my orange slides, you'll see here we've got forms of potential energy. So those are chemical energy, nuclear, and gravitational. Chemical energy, guys, think about the food we eat in a person or animal or plant. Remember, plants store sugar or carbohydrates that they transform from the nutrients from the soil and the sun. And that's photosynthesis, right? Through photosynthesis, they make their food. Now, we eat food, so that's chemical energy or a battery. A battery would also be considered electrical, or I'm sorry, I should say chemical energy. All right, so then we got nuclear energy. All right, and that's our radiation. Think about submarines, think about our nuclear power plants. And then gravitational energy. Gravitational is just as it sounds, energy that comes from gravity. All right, so you were going to go through and we're going to read those little sections. Same thing here, trim along the dotted line there, make it fit into our journal. This one's going to go right across, so you can kind of see the tail end here, right across from kinetic energy. I want you to have them right next to each other so we can kind of go back and compare if we need to. So your final product, after you go back and look at the definitions and go back and do that drawing for me, all right, if you're at home and you don't have the handout, You can just take any sheet of paper, construction paper, and just fix something so it looks like this. And then your final, and excuse the mess on the desk, we were digging our quizzes, but your final product should look in your journal like this, along with the individual definitions behind when you lift the flaps. All right, boys and girls? Simple, simple, simple. Enjoy the